Hello everyone, today is Thursday, May 17th. I haven't done an indoor garden update in quite some time. I've been exceptionally busy here. The weather has been in the 60s and some days in the 70s here lately, and I've been outside all the time. By the time I get done and come inside, too tired to do anything. But anyway, I wanted to give you all an update of my peppers, eggplant, tomatoes, and there's a couple other things I'll show you. So let's get into it. First off, my peppers and my eggplant, which there's 3 eggplant here. They're all doing well. Let me kill one of these lights so y'all can see it a little bit better. There we go. Man, that's not any better. Not any better. Alright, anyway, you have to bear with the brightness. But again, these are grower lights. So anyway, these are my peppers. I got a bunch of different varieties. I have some, look at this one right here. I mean, talk about a good looking seedling, and I hate to brag about certain things, which I don't really at all, but this pepper, I'd say that's as good as you can find at any type of Home Depot or any type of garden center. And plus, this probably cost me less than 20 cents to grow. Let's tuck it back in here with all the other ones. So they're growing quite well, as you can see. I still keeping the heater on in here. It does get cool in here at night because it's in the basement of the old farmhouse. But I still keep it around 60 degrees in here, 60, 65 degrees, which some may say that's a little warm. But it's worked for me in the past, so I'm going to keep using it. I also added an oscillating fan. This is just an old fan that it blows or speeds and it oscillates like this, because I had one instance of a tomato dampening off, and I think it's just because there's no air movement in here. If y'all can remember upstairs last year, where I had my growing operation at, and my growing room, if you will, was in the bedroom of the house, which it got real warm. There was a window there that was open all the time. Could get a breeze through, so things were drying out as they should have been. But here, they weren't drying out because there was no circulation. This was actually acting like a greenhouse, except there was no ventilation. So anyway, these are my tomatoes. I don't have their lights raised up, so I'm trying to keep them as low as possible. I had this issue last year with them stretching, and as you can see in between those nodes there, it's probably talking 2.5 inches. I don't know how to keep them lower, and I know some say, well, just reduce the heat. Well, I have tried that, and some say, put a fan on them, they'll get thicker stalks. I've tried that, and as you can see, some of these that are a little curly, they got decent sized stems on them. Some of them are still real little, but a lot of these were ones that were stunted from the beginning. But there's quite a bit of nice ones in here. You can kind of see in there. I'm not exactly sure the time frame, how long these have been in the ground. I haven't looked at my book in a while. But, they're all around 1 foot tall, something like that. The peppers are topping out. Some of these are maybe, 8 inches tall. And I'm hoping this year the peppers do well. Again, last summer, I wasn't here all summer. The majority of my viewers know that I was down in Pennsylvania, so I wasn't here to take care of anything. It's just with the circumstances that happened. But anyway, last year my pepper seedlings looked great. Put them in the ground, and they were stunted. And even when I came back here in the fall, they didn't grow hardly at all. The tomatoes, however, even though they weren't taken care of, weren't really watered at all, the weeds took over, I still got a whole mess of tomatoes. I was able to make, I don't know how many quarts of sauce, tomato sauce, spaghetti sauce, this and that. I don't know. I think peppers are more finicky, obviously. But of all the ones that I have, some have thicker leaves, some have thinner leaves, some are taller, some are shorter. I have one that's not looking too hot, but of all of them, if I only lose one, that's pretty good. And I think this is just a different variety. Some varieties, their leaves stay a little curly like this. Some get big flat leaves. And again, I have multiple varieties in here. Once they're growing like this, you can't definitely tell the difference between them. But once they start putting on peppers in 2 months, then I'll be able to tell. So I showed you the peppers, a couple eggplant, tomatoes. We swing over here. I have 2 trays. This is a tray of herbs, which again, I think the problem is a lot of them rotted because I kept the dome on there and there was no circulation. So whatever comes up, comes up. I know a lot of herbs take a while to germinate, but I may just start these outside in a few weeks and go from there. I am working on putting in a raised bed in the garden. That will be my herb garden, will be my strawberry, my asparagus garden. Just like one that I don't have to mess with every year. about tilling up and this and that, and maybe do with some wood chips, some mulch, and this and that. I'm not sure yet, but that's going to be where my mulch, or that's where my herbs are going to go. And some of these strawberries, by the way, which are going to be put out soon to put on some strawberries. And these 6 pots, these are my jumbo pumpkin. Now, they're not coming up yet, but again, seeds that are yay big take quite a while to come up. And I think these have only been in here maybe 10 days. If they don't come up in a little while, I'll start digging around in them just to make sure none of them rotted. And hopefully they didn't, because I don't have any more of these. I only had, I think, 12 seeds left that someone gave me off the Bayou forums, I believe, last year. I'm not positive offhand who it was, but if you do watch my videos, thank you. And if you have any more seeds, I'd be happy to have them. Anyway, I got all my other seeds down here ready to go. This is the 3rd week of May. And I should be, peas and broccoli and cauliflower and all your cold weather, cold crops, they should be in the ground by now. They should be growing by now. However, I'm not doing any cold crops this year, or at least in the spring. If I can get a greenhouse up and I can start them in there, or have time to start them in, maybe, July, August, then I might put some out. But, we don't eat them much here, so there's no sense growing them, and then I can save myself some time. But as far as peas should have been in the ground a month ago. But it was snowy, it was rainy, it was wet. So the climate up here allows for a lot longer of a growing season, in the sense of you don't have to get your peas in the ground middle of April to get a crop because it gets too hot. It will get hot here this year. It'll probably get in the 90s, maybe a couple of days in the 100 degrees. But the gradual increase of it up here in Canada, especially where I am, you could probably grow peas here all season long if you really wanted to. But within the next week, I'll be putting some peas out. I got sugar snap peas, which I'll be putting on some crop netting with some T-posts, kind of like Donald used to do it with his pole beans, which I will be growing as well. Might do an early crop of those, and as well as I have a bunch of keep looking down there, 'cause that's where my seeds are. A bunch of bush peas, which are shelling peas. I'm not a huge fan of peas, but I figure I'm going to try to get into doing some canning this year, possibly get a pressure canner and read up about that, and whether it just be for me or to store, not really to prep for disaster. I'm not into that that much right now, but I still think it'd be something good to have. Jars aren't that expensive. Once you buy them one time, you don't got to ever buy them again. And your canner, it'll last you forever if you buy a good one. So I'm looking into doing that, especially in the fall when I do my tomatoes. I want to make a whole load of sauce. I don't want to have to buy tomato sauce until next summer. Tomato sauce, marinara sauce, lasagna sauce, all kinds of sauce. I love tinkering in the kitchen with that stuff, and the stuff I made last year was perfect in my opinion. I want to do it again this year, different variations. And also, since we are getting more people here at the farm, I'm hoping to be able to sell some. Not necessarily to them, but if they know someone who knows someone who knows someone that's interested in that, maybe not sauce, but tomatoes, peppers, etc. Hopefully I can get some kind of market here and just have a little roadside stand. Anyway, stay tuned for my next videos. I got a whole bunch of stuff to update you guys on. I got new paddocks going in, new chicken coop. Oops, that's a teaser. Got a chicken coop going in, chicken run, chickens, eggs. Well, you know where eggs come from. But stay tuned, and I might take you along with some progress of that. It's not quite done, but over the next couple of weeks it will be finished, and we'll have some chickens here. So that's a little hint. If you made it this far through the video, you'll know about the chickens, and you can leave me a comment below about what your favorite type of chicken is as far as raising eggs, if you're into raising eggs. And if not, what's your favorite type of chicken anyway? Maybe I might check it out and pick up 1 or 2 of those. Anyway, there's still lots more to do. Outdoor garden updates, this and that update, horse updates. I have all kinds of updates. So stay tuned over the next couple of weeks. I'll be having a whole bunch of new videos out, updating everybody. So far, things have been busy this summer, but I couldn't ask for a better year. And the temperatures are staying just where I like them, in the 20s Celsius, 60, 70 degrees Fahrenheit. Anyway, stay tuned for more. Thanks for watching.